Well, I guess just to start, Grayson, what, just first couple days of getting on the court with these guys? I know you're kind of looking ahead to it, but what has it kind of been like in terms of just fitting in and interactions, all that kind of thing?
It's been good. It's been nice to kind of get to know the guys on the court, just to get some reps up with them. Try to get to know them and their play style as much as possible in a short amount of practice time. But it's been cool. I think it's actually been pretty easy. Everyone on the team seems like they're easy guys to play with, so it hasn't been much of an adjustment for me.
As you're starting to think through it, obviously Giannis hasn't been practicing. That's a big part of what they do here.
For sure.
How has that kind of changed the way these first couple days go?
I think for me personally, not much changes with him on or off the court. For me, it's still being a secondary playmaker, playing off the ball, being that slasher or being ready to shoot. And so it doesn't matter if it's Giannis, Jrue, or Chris with the ball. Whoever it is, it's pretty similar for me.
I know Bud is very much a believer in you have to do things right defensively, and then you're gonna get some freedom offensively. Was Taylor kind of that same way? I don't know Taylor's coaching style well enough outside of his assistant coaching here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, they definitely have their differences, but a lot of their philosophies are pretty similar coaching-wise. So Taylor was exactly the same. As long as you competed defensively, he gave you a lot of freedom offensively, and I'm definitely seeing the same from Coach Bud.
You had said on media day that the terminology and some of that stuff was the same. In application, have you found yourself playing a little freer or maybe a little faster than you would have hoped, knowing that you know some of the wording and those things?
Well, it takes less of an adjustment because I don't have to think as much, right? So if it was all new, I would have to be out there thinking about my positioning, thinking about what I'm calling out to my teammates, how I'm communicating. Because I don't have to do all of that, I can just play a little bit more free. So it's definitely been a help for me.
I don't know. I'm guessing you guys saw the videos, or you will at some point. So the league's going to officiate a little differently for offensive fouls with drawing contact and kind of leaning and contorting your body to a degree to get calls. I don't know, how might that affect you, or do you think it will affect offensive gameplay this year in terms of the league maybe looking to call that, in terms of initiating contact?
Yeah, well, I think for me, I didn't get a bunch of those calls in the active shooting, so it doesn't make a difference for me. I think defending the pick and roll, I think a lot of times the defense is in a little bit of no man's land because you have to fight to get over, and then against good shooters, some guys jump back, and when you're fighting to get over, it's very hard to stop on a dime against a good shooter and avoid that contact. So hopefully that cleans it up and makes it a little bit easier for when you're guarding on ball to play without getting a cheap foul called on you. And then the same with those pump fakes. We see a lot of guys jumping forward or into the defender. So you still have to be disciplined defensively, but hopefully it allows you to own your own space a little bit more.
For years, the Bucks have been probably the best in the league at real contests. Do you feel like that gives you a little bit more aggressive? You can do it without maybe the fear of someone jumping back into you, or does that?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's more before the shot though, because a lot of that is, if you're rear contesting, you're going to be trailing the guy a little bit anyway. I think it's more when you already have contact and you're going over a screen, and then a guy just stops and jumps back, and that's where you have to kind of back up and go like that. The rear contest when you're off a guy and you're flying by, that shouldn't make much of a difference there.
How's Donkey School going?
It's going pretty good. It's been easy to kind of put that in my mind, to flow into it and transition. Playing out of it is still a little bit uncomfortable for me, so that'll be a little bit of an adjustment, kind of my positioning when a guy's driving at me instead of getting out to that three-point line, kind of playing around the rim.
Is there any guys helping you with it? I know Jrue kind of went through it a little bit last year, the transition of hey, I'm never here to, I'm here all the time.
Yeah, well, Jrue actually does it really well, so they've been helping me with it a little, but a lot of times when we're flowing to the offense, they're telling me to get out to the three-point line and let one of them go in there. So I haven't been doing it as much, but they're definitely helping me out whenever I'm there.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.